Hey guys, this week on Life in the Pocket, we're talking about some guitar tones. Mash has a song. You'll get to listen to it, sneak peek, and maybe download it and put it on your LimeWire and share it with people illegally. But we put that on there mainly to talk about guitar tones and how the Helix has once again impressed Mash. And then we move on to just some other things like people who demo guitar pedals and questionable things. And then we wrap up with a short little discussion on the return of John Crist. Go ahead and like us on Facebook, follow us on Spotify, subscribe on Apple Podcast app, and if you want to become a patron and have backstage access to cool things and a Lit P rice making video, go to patreon.com/litp. That's LITP, patreon.com/litp for a 50% off discount code. Just kidding. There's no discount code. I just go to patreon.com and roll that intro. Welcome to another.
Wow.
Again, a couple weeks ago we were talking about
Yes.
oh my god, I can't even say words. Talking about how you.
Oh, I hit my microphone, Mash.
Talking about how
Drummed.
you bozos always do some kind of crazy crap with the intro. Like y'all are always
Well,
like,
it's got to be a thing now.
like Coleman's over here, just like going ham, and Hunter's
Yes.
always like, like, and we haven't done. It hasn't happened in a while.
Yes, it has
We
not.
just came out of the gates swinging. What an intro that was! I tried
I felt the
unsuccessfully 3 times to say a sentence and could not form English words.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Good old days. Welcome to another great episode of Life in the Pocket. Coleman's still not here. We have the usual per last episode.
Onion rings.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
we have mash and onion rings up in the building at the Brary. And we're going to talk about some guitar tone because all of us are guitar players. This is one thing I was going to mention last episode. So now it's kind of unbalanced because when it was just me and Coleman, there was no mash to like reel us back in on the topic. So we just talked about random stuff.
Yeah.
And now Mash is here to talk about, not cool stuff, like not fun stuff. And so I
really
feel
enjoyed the fried rice episode, I got to say. And
it was a work of art.
I need some
mean-
mentorship in that area because I've been wanting to learn how to make fried rice.
Real, legit hibachi fried rice.
Yeah.
I'm making a tutorial. So you're a patron, so you're going to get it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Did I never sent you that video. Did I send you the video
Of what?
of me dropping the fried rice?
No.
Are you kidding me?
You dropped the fried rice?
I don't have my phone. No.
Oh, man.
I'll show y'all after. But so I'm filming a tutorial, and I have just
Perfect.
made a whole oodles of fried rice. That's what I said in the video. Yes, I used the term oodles. And so I was telling them, I was like, all right,
More than a
teacher.
Diddy.
yes, take the bowl out, or take the rice out of the bowl, put the rice on a cooking sheet, and then just mound up as much rice as you want. Because I was cooking for a large crowd, so I had oodles of rice. But that was my first
I probably
batch.
could eat most of it.
Yeah, that was my first batch. So I did it, and I had my phone. I was like, so you put it in the fridge like this, and I was trying to make room in the fridge to slide it in there.
Pour
And
myself a little drink.
wonderful.
It sounds like
So-
coffee.
I take the phone like this, and I'm like, so you put it in here like this, and I'm looking at the phone, and I see that it kind of looks like it's in there. It wasn't even halfway in. So as soon as I
Oh,
let it
man.
down, the rice falls out, and I go,
No.
and you see me staring at the phone. So I had to make another batch of rice.
That's the worst, too. It's probably what's hard to clean up, too.
My dog ate most of it.
Oh, okay. No
So,
problem then.
yeah.
Perfect.
Anyways, so I don't really know why I was showing y'all that. Oh, we were talking about the fried rice
Yeah.
episode. So to say now, I feel peer pressured that Mash doesn't like to chase rabbits, and so I won't do it. That's why I
Dude,
brought
I
Evan.
am like,
We can chase rabbits.
I'm like the distracted dog of chasing rabbits.
Me too. With that 100%. But we're going to talk about some guitar
And
tones
squirrels.
today because we're all guitar players.
We are hearkening back to an age-old debate older than time.
Yeah, it was
It's
in
actually
our
not
first
that old.
2 episodes or one,
For us,
3,
yeah.
2, 3, 4.
What's the word I'm looking for? Relatively speaking, in terms of lit P historians, this topic is foundational to who we are.
Yeah.
Yep,
You
there
fall
goes
into
Hunter.
one of two categories if you're a lit.
Oh, how did that happen? Don't you know how to drink?
I was trying to embellish it so it showed up in the mic and I
And you
ended up
just
choking
sucked
on
it down
water.
your windpipe. That's what
You really embellished it.
Hunter just spews H2O all over a $2,500 MacBook Pro.
Some nice vibes. Maybe we should just play music while we do the pod.
Yeah. So I'm assuming they're not going to hear what we
No.
just heard yet. But guys, me and Hunter wore the shirts because we're prophets.
I didn't get
Shout
that
out.
memo.
So the thing is, though, is I wear the shirt in opposition to Amp Boys. Not in opposition. I wear it in like a joke saying, like how we say it, derogatory, Amp Boy.
Yeah, it's a cutting.
And so like somebody walked in my office and they're like, what is that, like TV Boy? And I was like, it's
No.
not a TV. Okay, it uses tubes, yes, but it's not a TV.
Well, to be fair,
This is
I don't
an
know
amp.
if amps that usually have the little legs. So maybe that's what threw them off.
They have the little nubs at the bottom.
Yeah, but they're not that pronounced
Well,
that I've seen.
And they're not at angles. But you didn't design the shirt, did you?
I like the shirt.
So people walking to my, or that I say walking to my office, the last encounter, somebody walked into my office and they're like, so I explained to him it was Amp Boy. Yeah, Amp Boy.
boy.
And I was like, he's like, oh, so you're an Amp Boy. And then when he said it, I was just like, wow, that sounds so dumb. I was like, no, I make fun of Amp Boys.
Idiot.
He's like, so why would you wear a shirt that says Amp Boy? Because I say it like Amp Boy.
Because I made the shirt, okay? Shut up.
Yeah. And then he just looked at me
Get out of my
confused
office.
and walked away. So, but
Well, guys, we didn't put a lot of thought into why we wanted the shirts. We just whipped them out, and we're excited to have them.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
get off our backs.
I'm a proud amp boy.
Yeah,
I
and
mean-
so another story too. I think I said it on the pod when I played with Abs when Evan couldn't. I used Evan's amp, and I wore an Amp Boy shirt, and I was an Amp
did.
Boy,
Yeah.
and I loved it.
You
And he felt
transitioned
dirty
for that day.
Yeah.
He felt dirty about it.
No, I felt good. I did. I felt like I was cheating, but it was a good cheat.
Yeah, it's
That
more
was
like
not okay.
it's more like you've been with your mistress for a long time, and you finally come home. That's more what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the story straight.
So yeah, the Helix was the mistress. Yeah.
100%, no question
Yeah.
about it. So we have here,
The Helix is just trying to be what amp boys are.
yeah, literally,
That's true.
Without-
and they're trying to make it easier.
Yeah, how dare they?
Well, so and
Idiots.
here's my thing about it. Since we're talking about it, since we brought it up, since we're talking
Yeah.
about it,
Just I'm gonna throw out the general course, and then you can say
let's
what
say
you're
my
gonna say.
thing. My thing, since we're talking about, since we brought it up, since we're talking about it,
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
I forgot.
No, I was just gonna let the people know where we're headed. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
we have some audio that we're gonna listen to. We're back on this topic because I recently used a Helix to record
Sing.
guitars for a song, and
Did
I
you
was
use like Helix software? Or did you use a Helix?
a Helix.
Who'd you steal it from?
Zach Hart.
Nice,
He actually played 90% of the guitars in the song.
nice.
I played everything that's in the intro was me, but then he tracked everything else. But the Helix was there through the whole process, and
It was on the scene.
yeah, I didn't.
Did you even warm up the tubes on your other amp?
No,
Wow.
no, and I didn't like
That's
fiddle.
what it does to you, man.
I didn't fiddle with settings. I literally just turned it on to whatever he had it on and played the stuff, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
good.
that was my thing though.
It's
Is
so scary.
if a new person was wanting to get into electric guitar, I don't know if I would 100% recommend a Helix. Because
No.
there's
Right,
something
which
about
You just need
building,
to know.
building your pedal board, understanding what you're like. When I bought a drive pedal, I would literally just twist knobs and find out what that drive pedal did.
Dude, speaking
There's-
of drive pedals, I got the Brothers.
Nice.
I had a little hiccup burp that I was suppressing.
Brothers.
The brother.
Brother.
Guys, if anybody cares about guitar, the Brothers Drive, analog gain stage. It's wicked.
That's hipster for drive.
Yeah, that's what an amp boy would say. That's
You're
exactly
right.
what an amp boy would
Guys,
say.
it sounds freaking good though.
Really?
It's very because my whole thing is I was trying to like consolidate my setup, get a little smaller. So now I got my little MIDI switcher going on for my Ventress.
Your MIDI Diddy.
Nice.
And I got the Brothers Drive. So it's just nice and little compact.
Can I take a gander?
Got the little DMC micro.
That's
changing.
right.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
like I can relate to what you were saying about the, starting off with an amp and pedals, because like I feel like there's other areas of learning in life that applies to too.
Yeah.
Because like when I was learning to fly, I learned how to fly.
Evan can fly.
I learned how to fly.
Just takes off.
When you don't give context.
I learned how to fly on what they call steam gauges, which is just the little round dials in the cockpit.
Oh.
And doing that, like it trains your brain to like really get a sense of like where you are and like what's happening to the plane.
Yeah.
And then
Plane.
Yeah, he
Flying
He
airplanes.
can't fly.
It's funny to the civilian when you just say, so when I learned how to fly, and we're all like, can you teach
and then
me?
like throughout the process, like after I got my first certificate, the school switched to what they call glass cockpits, which is all digital. And it's just this big GPS map, shows you exactly where you are.
Yeah.
And just hold your hand all the way.
I did
And,
it on.
like,
I did old school on the gauges too when I was young.
yeah.
I failed.
Yeah.
I remember I landed and I was like, "How did I do?" He goes, "Well, you crashed in the field a while back." But I was like, "Okay."
You're sitting on a steel frame and you got one wing right now.
But the moral of the story is the people that are raised on the digital cockpits or the people that are learning on the digital cockpit,
if those things fail,
when those batteries die,
Yeah.
they're not going to have a clue where they are.
Dang.
they don't have a snowball's chance in Louisiana.
There's been a lot of people crashing planes in Louisiana. I don't
And
want to
so
get off
that's
on
what
that
I'm saying
topic.
about like
Gosh.
when you get into the guts of the Helix or whatever unit it is, and you're like, where does this need to go in my signal chain? Or, where does the preamp go or
Yeah.
the power amp?
Or why do they call this thing an 808? Names are big too because they won't call it what it is.
yeah, because of like
They
trademarks
give it like
and stuff.
the just name of the circuit or like some
Yeah.
generic.
Or the
And
Helix
sometimes
goes
they get-
way crazy.
Sometimes they get pretty far out there with like trying to figure out what to call stuff.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like even me, I'm like, what? What is this?
That's funny.
And so like the memory man is called the elephant man.
Okay, that's funny though.
So you have to know that
I'm on board. I'm there. That just
because
won me
elephants
over.
have good memory.
Yeah,
Yeah, but see,
supposedly.
like to me,
How
like,
do we know
elephant,
that?
Elephant doesn't have anything to do with delay.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah, it's all like wordplay.
Yeah. So yeah, and I fully agree. Like I didn't know pedals. I don't. Yeah, if I were to teach somebody about like how an amp breaks up, I'm not going to give them a Helix and say this is
Yeah.
how an amp breaks up. I would like to give them an amp and show them what's happening because then it can help you dial in the Helix more.
You know what else I have now?
What?
Cloud lifter.
You do?
Yes.
Did you put it on this?
Not today,
But
but yes, I have.
does it make a difference?
Vocals in this song are recorded with
Really?
Cloud Lifter SM7.
So what's the difference?
I don't know. Here's what happened. So I've been recording. I've told y'all a little bit about the Life Water
Yes.
family in Bossier. Been working with them for Sunday stuff. And 1 week I couldn't be. It was the week that I missed the podcast because I had been around. I had been exposed or whatever to COVID, so I just stayed away.
Well, we just said it was your birthday, but since you brought that up,
well, I already mentioned this,
Yeah.
but so they, we've been doing this thing where I've been recording, I've been doing everything, and they're also kind of just wondering, like, okay, well, we need to be able to do this without you, in case you can't be here.
in case we want to
basically.
fire you.
Right. So on this fateful week, I stayed away. They did it all by themselves, and they sent me the audio for me to mix in Pro Tools, and I just started mixing the vocal, and I was like, there's something different. And I texted him, and I was like, did you buy the Cloud Lifter preamp with the SM7? And he's like, yes, I did. You can tell a difference? I was like, yeah. I actually
Good
can.
difference though.
Yeah, it just
What do you describe what it does to me? Because
it's pretty self-explanatory. It honestly just
puts it on a cloud. What do you mean?
well, it's a lifter. It's Cloud Lifter mic activator. So basically, like, first of all, it just increases the gain
Yes,
on the microphone.
That's what I hate about this.
It's very low gain, like by itself. It literally just makes it a little more sensitive, gives it a little more of that
Crispiness.
not to be confused with Christmas.
Or Honeycrisp apples.
Yeah, it just gives it a lift,
Like, hey, I need a ride. Because here's
why'd you cough on that guy?
yeah.
You
Don't
literally
pick up anyone that does that.
Hey, I need a ride.
Hey, I need
So-
a ride.
Honestly, if you ask me my review of this mic,
Overrated.
very overrated.
Very aesthetic, though.
And yes.
Look at us. We're on a podcast.
I literally bought this mic because it's what people use on a podcast. And so then I'm like, why can't I get it to sound like I want it to sound? And they're like, oh, just buy a Cloud Lifter.
Yeah.
That's like the number one answer. Why does my SM7B suck? And then they say, buy a Cloud Lifter. I'm like, then why can't Shure make an SM7B with cloud lifting in it? Like, why? That's stupid.
they
And then
want you
people
to-
say, oh, well, this is actually a great mic because Michael Jackson recorded Billie Jean with it or whatever. And you're like, okay, I'm not Michael Jackson.
It was Thriller.
Yeah.
Thriller,
So,
whatever.
like, you put a freaking, like, old hoopty in the hands of Dale Jr., he's going to win a race, like.
And maybe it's just that. I'm just not vintage enough to use this vintage mic.
So that's a double whammy. Now we have check out the SM7 with the cloud lifting technology. So we're gonna play this clip for you. It's a new song
Lifting technology.
that I've been working on. Guys, you're getting a sneak peek. If don't steal my song or I'll sue you. Okay, so that's about it. There's no harmonies in here yet. And
Are you sure we should play it?
Well, it's going to be useless without the harmonies.
Yeah, I don't. Let's just. Never mind. Scratch this whole idea. No
Okay.
harmonies. I'm just kidding. And 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, go. Here, let me bring some volume up. I almost feel like he's dead on beat the way he's nodding his head. So I'm thinking of a telly going through a deluxe reverb or something like that, or maybe not push so hard tweed amp or something like that. Is that what he was emulating?
No idea. It was a telly though.
It's got to be a toast. You can't play a Strat for worship.
I did for many years. I love it. It's got racing stripes on it too.
Here we go.
I was really impressed by these chord changes too, by the way.
Which
I like
ones?
just the collection that you chose.
Oh, yeah.
It's different. It's not the
Yeah.
usual.
Gotta go for the 2. I also pulled out all of the gimmicks on this song.
What do you mean?
All the dynamic gimmicks. Like, come on. Yeah, might as well.
Yes, we will praise you, 'cause you are worthy of our
Also pretty happy with the drum sounds.
Solid. You know my favorite thing about mainly a telly, but also a little bit of a strat is that tickle. You know the little tickle before the it's the strum, but I call it the tickle.
Oh, yeah.
The language. Like it just tickles your ears.
The shimmer.
Yeah, the shimmer. I so saw that coming.
What are you gonna do?
And on the 4, typical.
Absolutely.
All right, so my thoughts are
Hold on.
you got some 60 cycle hum in there.
Little buzz. Little. Got to, man.
I was extreme.
Authentic.
I think I'm. Oh, I mean, how do I explain this? So normally things like the Helix can do a decent job. People will say they can do a decent job with clean tones, but when it's breakup stuff, that's when you can know that it's not a Helix. For me, I can tell. Well, I can't tell, but I know a difference in a clean amp and a clean modeler most of the time. Because that I don't know how to explain it, but I can just hear when a guitar is being played through an amp, even in a recording.
For me, it's always the way it compresses.
Exactly. Maybe
Yeah.
that's it, because I'm thinking of like a bubble and how it the response of that. And so I was extremely impressed with the I mean, I have a Helix, so everybody
Yeah.
knows I'm on that team. But
Yeah.
I'm more impressed. I mean, the drive, I know it sounds good because I have a Helix, and I don't have to argue that. But that clean tone there, solid.
Like in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I really love verse 1. Shout out to Zach. Just like it's just very simple, kind of dreamy,
Yeah.
you know.
It's vibes.
It's vibes. Which this song had a lot of. I mean, I know we're talking about the end of the Helix story is that I'm still I'm just too far into my stupid pedals that I still like love playing through an amp, but I'm just the more that I use it and like see how just convenient it is
Oh, yeah.
to just plug the sucker in and record.
I mean, like, let it be known, I'd love to have one.
Yeah.
Like,
It's pushing me towards like wanting to get just an option like an HX Stomp or an Iridium or a Kemper.
Well, that's more than an option. That's an investment.
a Kemper, I'd buy a Kemper before I bought the Helix. To be
Oh,
honest with
yeah.
you.
Yeah, me too. But like the Iridium is like a step of several steps down from that.
Yeah.
Have you seen that at
I
all?
think so.
It's just a Strymon,
It's an IR simulator.
Okay, gotcha.
but it's a pedal, you know.
yeah.
It's just as big as Strymon's like medium-sized pedals, not like Big Sky.
Yeah.
I think they took like a Fender amp, a Marshall, like 3 different types of amps, and they just did that. Like, isn't that right?
Something like that, yeah.
So,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
But so getting something like that where I'm not like sacrificing all the stuff I've invested with my like effects and just giving myself an option for recording direct,
Yeah.
you know, sounds really good to me.
Dude, there was this little unit that I saw a good while back. I don't remember what it was called, but it was an effects unit with built-in speaker simulation. So, like, I don't think there was any, like, amp modeling on board.
Yeah.
But what you could do is you could have your amp hooked up to, like, a load box or something, and then plug it in back into the floor unit, and it would put the cab on it.
Really?
Yeah. And then it would do, like, a direct out signal.
That's sick.
And it was all like fully MIDI capable, and like it had a section for drive and then your time effects and whatever.
Dang.
But it was very simple. Like most of the controls were on the face of the unit. Like,
Man.
Also, I don't know. That's really all I had to say about
I'm
the
a big...
Helix.
Here, let me just go ahead and give my Helix spiel.
Okay.
I'm not going to do the full in-depth one that you probably heard it, since I know you're a big fan of you and you listen to every episode. But
Yep.
I was
playing over there.
No doubt.
I was
Crash Clans.
I was literally the guy that like would get on Gear Talk, Praise and Worship, and
Like
make fun of
flame
people.
people.
Yeah,
Like-
but in that time it was more like the pod, you know.
Yeah.
Or somebody would have like, ooh, I have a Boss Multi Effects GT, whatever they are. I
Yeah.
don't remember what they're called, but or the Pod HD 500, you know, those ones. So I would literally be that guy where like, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you need an amp. And so I had an amp.
Meanwhile, you don't even know how to use your like analog gear.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it wasn't the fact that I knew what the amp did, but I had one and it had
Yeah.
tubes in it.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
So-
you better than anybody else.
Literally, I walked in. So they knew how to get people like me, because to Hunter, to be able to find an amp that has tubes in it, it had to have that little jewel, you know, the little light jewel, like how most tube amps it has the jewel. So then
Yeah.
they started making those valve amps that had a jewel, and so I was like, it's got to be a tube amp. It's got a jewel on it.
Yeah, and you
And-
tried one and was like,
Yeah. But so anyways, I used to hate on people, and I had all my own pedals, and I stopped playing as much and sold off on my pedals. Got a Helix, and sometimes I want my pedals, sometimes, but it's so nice for me because my main interest now is not guitar effects and stuff, and maybe that's why. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why Helix.
to me, the pedals are not as important as the amp.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you can get good digital effects.
yeah. I would
sure.
agree with that.
For sure.
And so my main focus is in recording. I want to be able to do different styles without saying, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Without
I want a
remicing
Marshall
a different
sound.
amp
And yeah,
and
I
all
don't
that
want to have to go
stuff,
buy a Marshall to get that sound type
Yeah.
thing. So
That's where I think like the Kemper bridges the gap.
Yeah.
Kemper's
Because
solid.
you can profile your own amps at home. Like if I have a sound that I really like at home and I want to carry it with me, you can just load her up. You know.
Let me just pop over onto Reverb.
No, we don't shop on Reverb anymore
Oh, you're right. They've raised their seller fee.
to 5%. Meanwhile, Sweetwater has a free used gear marketplace. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Kemper, you can find one for
You
about
already know I'm
$1,400.
Sweetwater fanboy.
Yeah, that's true.
Me and Buster are tight.
How is Buster these days?
He's great. He freaking saved my life. I'm not
Wow,
gonna.
that's pretty crazy.
I'm not gonna give. Yeah, I was actually I was actually drowning, and he no.
He
So
offered you a better deal.
so here's the deal. I've already talked about how, Sweetwater customer service has been crazy good because they're obviously a company that has sales reps, and these sales reps have, authority to be flexible on retail price. I don't know what that's like. There is obviously some sort of policy or,
Yeah.
what's the word? Like regulation on that. Here's the thing. I'm not tacky. So obviously I'm not going to try to take advantage or find out about it.
Yeah.
I just am grateful for any time Buster hooks me up. And he does hook me up.
Yeah.
What did he hook you? How are
So-
you drowning? Explain that.
Okay, so
Probably was about to buy something.
not this past Sunday, but Sunday before that, I cracked my ride cymbal.
Crack the sim.
So, I mean, I had a camp coming up, and I'm like, I don't want to play broken stuff, So I kind of had to buy a new ride. The week prior to that, I had gone ahead and coughed up the cash to make some guitar purchases. Okay, I would not have done that had I known I was about to break my freaking ride cymbal.
Should have been able to see the future.
So I was just stressed, I spent like close to $400 for the new ride. It's not a fun time.
It's almost nice to have an excuse to get new gear sometimes, though.
Yeah, like
There is like a
I'm
little
so excited.
silver lining.
I'm
there.
so excited to have
like,
the new.
I have to get this.
I got the
Yeah.
24-inch Heartbeat Jazz ride, and it's glorious. But also, I then realized I only have a 22-inch cymbal bag. And so, am I
Hate
about to literally just show up to a gig with
Holding a
freaking
red
cymbal
cymbal.
in hand? Like, no.
Well, of course not. You're gonna put it in a suitcase.
I literally text Buster, and I was like, dude, I wasn't like, bro, you gotta get me a.
Was Buster mad that you bought a heartbeat symbol?
No.
And not something from Sweetwater?
No, he was like, dude, I'll just tell you what he said.
Old Busty. Did he send you one for free?
No.
That would have been lit.
Bruh, gosh.
I said, I am in a pinch.
It's like,
Yeah, let me just ship one over to you.
Yeah.
I said, I'm in a pinch.
we got a few laid in the warehouse.
Yeah. That would have been good. He said, I'm in a pinch, and I've spent way too much money the past week, but I need a new cymbal bag. Cracked my ride last week, had to order a new one, but I ordered a ride 2 inches bigger than my current cymbal bag. He says, what size you need? I said, friggin' 24. He said, and where did you order the ride from? I would have given you a deal, especially on a ride and a
He
bag.
was
Oh,
mad. He was
man.
mad.
Well, he said
caught
LOL. I said, yeah, it's a heartbeat ride. And he said, heck yeah, love 24. Let me check some out. How much you want to spend? But he said, oh, I gotcha. Because they don't have heartbeat stuff.
Yeah.
I said, bro, I mean, that question is funny. I don't want to spend anything. He said, well, I'd send you one, but you need me here, and I got to keep a job if you want deals.
It's true. Good point.
Dang.
Thanks,
he drives
Buster.
a
That's
hard
golden.
bargain. So I said, the truth though is I don't want a crappy cymbal bag. Like, I've been loving the mono stuff, honestly.
Oh,
So,
dang. You going expensive.
Bro,
there.
you're like putting him in a hard spot. Give me a mono bag for free.
he said, all right, I'm about to hook you up, but don't tell anyone. And I expect to hear some great things.
Dude, you're like
and-
outing him right
No,
now.
he said,
you have to bleep his
no,
name out.
I'm not going to tell y'all what I paid for it.
Oh, okay.
He said, and I expect to hear some great things and you telling people to come my way. So this is me saying, hit up Buster Davis at Sweetwater.
But so can I request a new rep? Can I be like, hey Buster, I'm your new or you're my new rep, and I ditched my old rep.
Yeah,
because
dude.
I'm friends with
I'll give
Mash.
you his number.
But now you're
My guy's
tipping
name
off.
is Barry.
You're
Barry,
tipping
I
off,
don't know who you are, but I'm sorry. You're not Buster level.
But you're tipping off Sweetwater Management that he did something that he doesn't want them to know about.
Oh.
I mean, Sweetwater Man is going to watch this podcast.
Dude, Sweetwater Management, let me say something to you right now.
Buster needs a raise.
Yeah, if Sweetwater even thinks about having a problem with that, they need to know how much money I've spent at Sweetwater because of Buster. Okay?
That's true.
Literally only because of Buster.
Old Busty.
He's the reason that I don't just go to Guitar Center when I need something just like
Quick.
quick, or I was thinking of like pedestrian.
Yeah.
Like a cable. Like I could just go buy that from the store. But I don't. I buy it from Sweetwater.
But would you have bought that cymbal bag at full price? Because you needed it.
I really didn't want. What do you mean? I mean, would I? I don't know. Probably.
Would you go as
That's
far
what
to
I'm
say as
saying.
how much you paid for the cymbal bag? Is that too much?
No, I won't say it on air.
Okay.
I'll tell you guys after though.
So listen to. Okay, I don't mean to bash my Sweetwater rep. It's just I feel like the deals that Buster gives you are not the deals that I get. Okay, so I got him to price me. I can't even remember what it was. It was like something that was like $1,300, and so I was like, "Hey, is there any kind of deal you can get me on all this stuff?" And so this was $1,300 without shipping. So I think like with shipping, and all
Shipping's
that.
free.
Well, taxes. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
$1,300 without taxes, and then with the $1,300 is like $1,330. I don't know how that works, but it was extra with taxes.
Yeah.
And so like he pretty much just like got me a deal without taxes. And I
Yeah.
was like, I don't
Yeah.
feel like I won.
Yeah.
And so that's what I get 90% of the time.
He told me what he would send it to me for, and I said, "Don't you dare make me cry right now." And he said, "Oh, I want tears."
Send me a video.
I said, "Bro, sold." He said, "I got you covered, man. You know I take care of you."
I'm gonna request
Dang.
a new Sweetwater.
Shout out.
He really does. I'm friends with Buster on Facebook. I've never even
don't-
talked to the guy.
I don't even know if I've friended him, but I should.
Dude, don't. Yeah, he also told me. I said, I said our worship band finally has an album coming out with original music. He said, "Is that the one that messaged me last time?" And he was laughing. I don't know. Somebody messaged him.
It might have been me.
Probably it had to be you then.
I didn't message him, but I responded to a comment.
Oh,
I just put, can you request a different Buster on Sweetwater? I meant to put sales rep.
there's only one. There's only one.
Oh, Lord. So in other news, unless y'all have something else to say about guitar.
Oh,
Not really.
well,
Guitar sucks. Just kidding.
Does tone come from the amp or from the fingers?
All the things we've already talked
tone
about.
comes from everything.
It's a culmination.
Tone is all inclusive. It's like a recipe, you know.
It's true.
Yeah.
You can't put something in your fried rice without expecting to taste it.
Unless it's toenails.
Well, I
It
would
would still
imagine you're
affect the
still gonna-
taste. So when I think of toenails and fried rice, I think of those people.
You're probably gonna feel it more than you're gonna taste it.
Amen, brother. Hey, that'll preach.
Not coming in, but more going out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because out of the abundance of the heart,
So
The fried rice speaks.
What was I talking about? So we're talking about tone. I was talking about fried rice.
Toenails.
Is it in the fingers?
Oh, so I'm kind of bewildered by the people that like
Bewildered.
yeah. Coffee and Riffs. Have you ever watched Coffee and Riffs?
No.
It's the guy that does Old Blood Noise pedals.
Okay.
He gets people on and they just chain up like the craziest pedals. Like not like, oh, let's chain up a drive, a delay. It's like a delay to a rainbow machine to an octave pedal to like, and it just makes weird like.
I have
And they're
trouble getting into.
They're like doing this.
That
I'm like,
sounds stupid.
that sounds
That's
dumb.
Earthquaker devices. They
Yeah.
do that kind of crap.
And so, well,
They're
I'll-
like, this sounds good.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the whole time like they're doing this, and the people around them are like,
oh, weird.
and so I just don't.
Which we talked about how Earthquaker.
Okay, so like
Earthquaker be posting stuff, and we're
it's
like,
hot trash.
bad.
Like
Not all the time, but like
On their
Earth-
Instagram?
Earthquaker.
Yeah.
I don't know if I listened to all their videos.
Earthquaker has some good, solid quality pedals.
Yeah.
But the people that they have the people that
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm gonna show you a video later. I don't know if we should show it on the. Well, they showed it, but
yeah.
okay. It's an old one,
Yep.
but I sent it to Matt. It's terrible. Like, let me see. I think I can still find it.
Like the data corrupter.
Yeah, they make a bunch of pedals that I could never find a use for.
Yeah, it just literally sounds like I want my guitar to sound dumb.
No, I can top that, dude.
Listen, I just clicked on one at random.
Yeah. Put it in your mind.
Oh God.
I got the Dunes and the Avalanche rundown. I use the Dunes pretty much in every set, just as like an extra gain for solos. I was pretty into the Westwood playing it
solos.
today. I really like how it's got bass and treble adjustments.
yeah.
That's
something
groundbreaking.
Because it really
Yeah.
sounds like you dialed in the bass and the
Dunes
treble in
doesn't have,
that.
And I think it's a pretty cool feature because it just
you
lets
play a
you
little
really
more
dial
for
in
us?
the tone more so than just
Give us a little
tone
more.
up.
Yeah.
It literally sounds like one of those little practice amps that you get when you first get your guitar kit from Walmart. Like, and you turn it up all the way. That's what that sounds like.
Now, like, I'm not here to bash anybody's playing or anything like that, but that's not gonna sell me a pedal.
No, you're right.
That at least sounds like music.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
Okay, so let me tell you though, the Earthquaker Devices Dispatch Master is my
Yeah.
all-time favorite pedal.
Yeah,
All
I wanted
time.
one for a long time.
Oh, I love it. Like if I ever had pedals again, that would be the first purchase because it's
If
awesome.
I put together another small board or something like that, I'm gonna get one.
Oh, check
Yeah.
it out. Here's the Bethel Music's newest project. Check it out, guys. If you're in the know, then this is hilarious.
Lord.
And this is
In other news, John Crist is making a comeback.
for anyone who's not watching the video, I just randomly clicked on an Earthquaker video, and it is a man in full wizard robes and wizard hat playing a guitar. So hence the Bethel joke. You know.
If you didn't know,
That's
Bethel used a Gandalf staff to get rid of racism. The demon of racism.
Yeah.
So thanks to them.
Yeah.
Thank you. First of all, thank you,
I'm
Bethel.
glad they took that upon themselves.
I'm glad that I'm just sad I didn't
Someone
think
had
of
to
it.
do that.
I'm
Yeah,
glad.
I mean-
I wish I
Does
would
that
have thought
mean
of that.
that Bethel is technically Gandalf the Grey, like willing to sacrifice all to kill the demon of racism?
Maybe.
Huh. All right. So, Oh my gosh, what was that?
A video.
Of who?
Who do you think?
I don't know.
Earthquaker.
I think they're messing around.
Okay.
Oh, that was supposed to sound bad. Yeah.
Couldn't eat,
This is him.
couldn't sleep, couldn't look at a guitar. And that's when my doctor told me I suffer from lack of overdrive. Then I found the
That's
West.
actually pretty funny.
Things are looking up.
Amen. Okay.
But
Anyway.
do y'all want to end this episode with a short convo about John Crist, or would you rather talk about Kanye running for president?
He's out.
I thought he was back in though.
What?
When did you see that he was out? When I texted you?
No.
Because as of yesterday, I thought he was back in.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so it's Kanye. Kanye West. We've talked about him. We covered him here on the P.
Kanye.
Yeah.
And he now is running for president.
I didn't really do my homework about John anyway.
Me
so.
neither. I didn't do my homework about any of
He
it.
just
though.
released a video. That's it.
Dude, I haven't seen it.
I heard something about it, but
it on
I didn't
Instagram?
watch it.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook. Facebizzle.
I need to go watch
Dang
it.
it, man. Now you got me wanting fried rice.
Wings and rice after this?
I can't. I have to meet them at 2:00 to leave.
See, New York Magazine. Kanye West hasn't dropped out. He's working to get on the ballot. Kanye West
But
tweets picture of
Louisiana's
his...
already voted.
Oh, even better. Fox News. Kanye West tweets picture of his face on Mount Rushmore. I mean, come on now. Somebody photoshopped his face. He didn't take somebody away. He added two. You got to respect the man for that.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm about to watch this John Crist video. Is that okay?
I mean, I guess. It's kind of lengthy.
John Crist here. Hi.
I'll just do the beginning.
Over 8 months since I posted anything on the internet, and for a guy who used to post content literally every single day, that has felt like forever. Let me say first and foremost, thank
It's
you
really
for
been
the
8
love,
months?
care, and support that you guys have shown me.
Dang.
Meant the
I feel like it was just like a few months ago that we were
world.
hearing about that.
Choices I made in my personal life, but support for me as a human being and as a person.
I'm gonna skip to the ending. I want to see what his conclusion is.
On the internet and make a video or make a joke or an Instagram story, but I knew
He said he's been wanting to do that.
if I didn't take the time to fix the broken pieces of myself,
Amen, brother.
that I wasn't going to be good for anybody. So, thank you all for the
Relatable.
support and care. This truly has meant the world, and I'm grateful.
So curious to see how he.
I can summarize pretty much what he said.
Okay.
I mean, he just said that he's been at rehab, which he's been there before. So then he's been wanting to post about stuff. He was really happy that even though he did things that aren't acceptable, that so many people reached out and gave him love, saying he doesn't deserve it, but he's really thankful for it, and that's helped him get through it. Didn't say anything about I'm starting back now, but just was kind of saying that and then moving on to, I've made some mistakes, but thank you for sticking with me. But that doesn't mean that what I've done is right or all that kind of stuff. So he just kind of said that in circles to make sure.
We got some hot takes in the comment section.
I saw nothing but good. Did you see something
Yeah,
bad?
you want to hear a few of
Yeah.
them while we wrap it up? So Jordan Feliz, I don't know who that is.
It's like a big guy.
Like how big?
Like he's he's a Christian artist.
I just don't know who he is, but he's got the blue check.
Yeah. American Christian musician who plays folk rock and soul style of Christian pop. I'm pretty sure he was on American Idol.
He looks like Q off of Impractical Jokers. All right, anyway. He said, "Proud of you, my bro. Love you tons."
Oh, I thought you were going to say he was trash
Well,
talk. Oh.
There's responses.
Yeah, plots. The first guy came out swinging and said, "Shouldn't he apologize to the victims?"
See, here's what I want to say about that, though, is maybe he did.
Yeah.
And that guy doesn't have to be a part of the apology.
Yeah. So somebody in response to that said, same thing people probably said when Jesus told the thief on the cross he'd be with him in paradise.
Nice.
What? Oh, I'm kind of confused.
Like, I think
though.
he's hating on the guy that was hating on,
He is, but like,
Yeah.
how, shouldn't he apologize to the victims?
like, just saying.
Well, they're
that
saying that, you know, like,
negativity.
shouldn't the thief have apologized to his victims?
I guess it's just people.
It's a stretch.
People always
Yeah.
do that. They're like, I wonder how Jesus would,
Yeah.
like. So same thing. People, yeah. He said, I think grace and mercy is often more scandalous than we realize. True.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
And then that guy said, to the thief on the cross, not to the sexual assaulter on the cross.
What? Who cares?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Forgiveness always, but have the decency to defend the victims here. They were sexually assaulted. This crime had many women. Well, I don't know if it was a criminal,
I don't think it was criminal.
but they're
No.
just saying crime
Yeah.
in a general sense, I think. Don't they deserve respect? This guy said, what difference does the sin make? Without Jesus, the thief was hopeless, and so is the assaulter and the assaulted. You yourself are just as hopeless. The assaulter with Jesus has more hope than you do without Jesus.
And that to me is kind of a blurred line. Like, I'm going to try to say this without sounding, because here's the thing, as soon as you say something, especially today, you're immediately classified as something. But, like, I'm not saying, like, what he did was right,
yeah.
but nobody, like, went to court over it, you know? And you could say, yes, I was in a situation where he made me feel uncomfortable and definitely went too far. But there was two people in that. I'm not saying that person of like, you let him do it type thing. But
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? Like, they obviously didn't feel violated enough to.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they did and he paid them off. I don't know.
To
But
like press charges?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. That's obviously just.
Well, I mean,
So at that point, do
as
you
far as
call
we
it
know,
sexual
he didn't
assault?
do anything illegal.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah, from what I remember from our episode, it was just very like skeezy.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't remember him doing anything like aggressive, you know, or like forceful.
Physically aggressive? No.
Right. I don't think it was like a forceful nature to that. But anyway, yeah. So he's back. Some people are. Looks like most people are like,
Corona.
we're glad you're back. But yeah, Jordan flees and is arguing with these people.
That kind of like strikes a nerve with me because I've undergone some. I've had some similar grace shown to me recently, and like, I've been playing Red Dead Redemption. It's gonna sound funny, but
Sick.
one of the lines that I heard in the game the other day was "Revenge is a fool's game," and like nobody heals from getting from somebody else getting punishment.
Yeah.
And
Right.
like someone being like, you know, sometimes it has to happen. For someone who's done something wrong to be punished to the full extent that they deserve. But that is not always necessarily a success story. Like,
That's true. For me,
because in the end, like sometimes the person doesn't recover from that punishment.
yeah.
And I think that like if you've done something wrong, that doesn't automatically like doom you to the full extent of the punishment that you deserve.
Yeah.
And that's what's so good about the grace of God, because like none of us deserve what we have right now.
Right.
And
Mash
you
doesn't
know,
deserve that T-shirt I made for him.
Actually, you don't deserve that
and
T-shirt.
it's
Helix boy. Sorry, go
and
ahead.
it's also, I think, a fool's game to sit and compare like what we deserve
Yeah.
to what someone else deserves. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, we're splitting hairs.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're kind of chasing another rabbit, but I've always
Not
been,
allowed.
I've always kind of, the one thing that I have, I guess, struggled with as somebody who would say that I'm a conservative Republican voter. I'm not saying like, yeah, most of the stuff I agree with. Now, whether you're Republican doesn't matter. That's not what I'm talking about. But the one thing that I would say that I just kind of have an issue with, and not an issue, but I haven't really quite figured out where I stand on it, is I believe justice is important. But if somebody, at what point does somebody deserve to die for what they do?
Yeah, that's where we're getting into, is the distinction.
That's a whole episode right there.
Yeah, the distinction between, and it's the distinction between, and when I say justice, I'm not talking about like equal treatment of people. I'm talking about reparations for your actions that you've done. So like, when we talk about grace and mercy, that should absolutely characterize our individual lives, you know? But there is a difference between, for example, like what you're saying. I'm just going to take it to the extreme for the illustration. None of us deserve the grace of God. That's what makes it gracious and merciful.
Yes.
Miraculous.
You
Is
can't
that-
put a limit on grace, because if you do, then, you know,
Yeah. But, well, so what I'm saying is, like, grace abounds for all my mistakes. Like, no one is more or less deserving. Like, we're all equally undeserving of grace and unimaginably blessed to.
But I would say that
to
I'm more
possess it.
deserving of grace than you are.
Okay, well, we can talk about
Anyway,
that later.
yeah.
yeah. Well, see, like that's where you start to get,
Yeah.
and literally, like
Yeah.
that's where you start to stray into like the dangerous territory.
Yeah.
Because like the bottom line is, does the blood of Christ cover John Crist's sin?
Yes.
Yes.
100%. So that's what I'm saying. The difference between, like, and I've kind of mentioned this before, but grace and forgiveness on an eternal scale, but also in light of the fact that there are consequences for our actions.
Yeah.
In this, so like the murderer, like that murders someone, I do believe that like God's grace is, it's not even a question. It's plenty big enough to cover such an offense.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we are to just say, well, God's grace covers that, man. You're fine. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, slap him on the butt. Get back out there. You know, you're fine.
You
Yeah.
got this, man.
You know, so there's
obviously things that have to take place for the safety of society. You know?
Right. And just justice in general, for our world, but in our society. But yeah, I don't know. But like the point is, it's hard. I mean, I just don't think there's like a black and white rule for stuff like that. I think we've got to still be like, I think people are going to be cautious. This is just the same thing with Kanye stuff. Same thing with when this happened with John to begin with. Like, there are consequences for his actions, and he knows that, and he's experiencing them. And we should, first and foremost, be
like his whole career is stained from here on out.
yeah.
So I mean,
We have to be gracious and loving and forgiving, but we'll also be cautious and wary as we invite him back into our, events.
Yeah.
It's just really, I think it's that simple.
yeah.
It's to practice wisdom, but wisdom, buffered with love and grace, not like pointed fingers and
Yeah. And well, I think one of the things that bothers
Judgment.
me most about that comment is it's not up to us to make sure he gets punished.
exactly.
Or it's not up to us like if that was McCaslin, I don't need to tell McCaslin, I think you should do this type thing. Mainly because I have, well, like what I know it's simple, but like it's none of your business type thing. But really, that's why I hate social media, because it literally puts everybody to the mercy of what the mob culture thinks
Yeah.
of social
Yeah.
media. Like, I think we should kill him. Yeah, kill him. And then everybody's like, why are we killing him? We don't know. Just because
Yeah.
one person said it.
What happened to Jesus?
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, We just wanted. I guess we just want to throw that in at the end.
We'll talk
might
about Kanye
it.
next week.
We might talk about it more. We might do an episode on that.
We'll talk about since
topic.
Kanye.
I don't know.
Kanye
I think
said
that's an important conversation to have in today's climate. You know,
Yeah, cancel culture climate.
cancel culture climate. CCC www.ccc
about just like about forgiveness and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like I said, next week we can talk about that and maybe Kanye, because here's another thing. Kanye says he's running for president and that he's going to put God at the forefront of America.
Okay,
So with that
he's still doing,
statement-
he's still
Well,
doing
him
that.
single-handedly can't do that.
Yeah.
It takes us as a nation to do that.
Yeah, but so with that statement, a Christian should be like, I'll vote for that guy. But would you still vote for Kanye West? Tune in next week to see
Roll
what
the
option.
outro.
The outro will be rolled in 3, 2, 1. What a great ending.